What happened? Basically, table to table, and like just let people know. What's up, guys? So, happy hacking. I know everybody's tired and excited and nervous, and you guys have looks like maybe 12, 14 hours to push your stuff up to a server. So I'm gonna go through like a really quick walkthrough of a stack that I've used to win a bunch of hackathons. So I'm going to use Express. I'm going to use something called the Express app generator. So I'm going to literally write like 3 lines of code or 3 commands into the terminal, and I'm going to have an Express app up and running. I'm going to tweak that Express app a little bit, and then I'm going to push it onto Heroku, onto like a live server. And this is like from nothing. So what you see right here is what I'm starting with. I'm going to start with a blank terminal, just a terminal app, and a web browser, and like nothing more. And this is like basically a tutorial to get you from 0 to having an app up on the internet that with a demo link you can send to anybody. Show of hands here. Who here has used Heroku before? 1, 2, cool. Who here has used Node before? Or ran a Node app? Cool, sweet. So these are all things that like exist. Doing an Express app from scratch, like if you take a coding bootcamp, chances are they're gonna show you how to do an Express app from scratch. While it's really good to know the fundamentals, when you try to push it up to Heroku and it doesn't work, that really sucks. And when you're at a hackathon and you have a limited amount of time, you really want to be able to do these things faster. And literally the name of Express is Express, so it should be fast, right? So I'm going to show you guys a little tool that I discovered called the Express Generator. So the Express Generator is something that's like part of Express. It's released by the same people that release Express. And it's a global package that you guys can install. Who here does not have NPM installed on their computer? Node. Who doesn't have Node installed? So guys, go to node.com and you guys need to install Node. And that will get you NPM. NPM is a command line tool. It's like a magical tool. It stands for Node Package Manager. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to type in commands and globally install packages. So when I type in npm install React, it will install the React framework into my project. If I do npm install Twilio, it will take Twilio's library, their SDK, put that package that into my project that's available in my project. In addition to local project-specific packages, you can also install global packages. And you install global packages very similar to the way you install local ones, except you add this little handler -J. So you type in npm install, the name of the package, and then if you add -G, that stands for global. What does global mean? Global means that it's not only in your project, it is globally available in every single folder on your entire computer. So we're gonna globally install the Express generator. So we're gonna go into the terminal and type in npm install express-generator. So I'm probably gonna, I think it just updated my version. You guys, it might look a little longer than this because you'll be installing it for the first time. Great. So after I've done that, I'm gonna cd into my code folder where I keep all my projects. And literally, if I want an Express app and I'm at a hackathon, I type in Express. What is your favorite musician? Give me a musician, come on. Or your worst, who?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, okay. And what is your favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza, okay. So we're gonna do the MJ-Pizza app. And it's gonna be an app that texts you Michael Jackson lyrics and orders you a pizza. Let's try that on your side. Pizza-app. And then what I'm going to do, I always make this mistake. So, can you guys even see that? Give me 1 second. I'm going to make the display bigger so you guys can hopefully see a little better. You guys see that a little better, I hope? Okay, so I'm going to type Express, the name of that app, which is going to be MJ-Pizza dash app. And then I'm going to add one of these helper functions. And the one I'm going to use is called HBS. And that stands for handlebars. Handlebars is a view manager for Express. And it basically allows you to write like regular HTML with handlebar brackets. So that's why it's called handlebars. So I'm going to hit enter. And this just scaffolded me out an entire app. So as you can see, it created all of these files, all of these routes. It's really MVC, so it's the code is organized very well. And this app is actually ready to go straight to Heroku. So with no further configuration, I can push this directly with Heroku. It has the environment variable set up, so the port switches when it goes over to Heroku. So I'm going to cd into the folder that I just created with this command. Right. And now that I'm in it, I'm going to run npm install. And when I run npm install, it's going to read the package.json file. And that's kind of the blueprint of your app. So it's going to read the package.json file, and it's going to install all the dependencies that are listed there. Then I'm going to run npm start. And when I run npm start, it's going to read that blueprint, that package.json file, and it's going to look for what the start command is, and it's going to execute whatever's in there. And this might sound a little confusing, but I'm going to show you that package.json file in a second, and it's going to make a lot more sense if you haven't seen it before. Okay, cool. So now I go to localhost 3000 and I have an Express app. So I have an app running. I just ran 3 commands into my command prompt, and I have a complete Express application scaffolded out, ready to get pushed to Heroku whenever I'm ready. So now I'm going to create a new project in my IDE. And I'm going to look in the code, and I'm going to show you what comes out of the box. Now, I haven't written a line of code yet. All I've done is type commands into the command line. And I'm going to show you what comes out of the box with an Express generated app. Here's one MJ Pizza app. Cool. Sweet. So here is our folder structure. The first thing you're going to see is public. So public has an images folder where you can put your images. It has a JavaScript folder where you can put your JavaScript, and a style sheet folder where you can put your style sheets. And that is going to be the root of your app. So if you go to, let's say it's mjpizzaapp.com/images, that's the folder that you're going to land in. But that's only for static files, not your actual application. The next folder we have is routes. And routes are basically all of the routing and the pages that get generated from your application. So by default, you get one route. That route is basically a hello world that shows you the home page. And if you read it, it says route.get. That's a get request. And that backslash is the directory that you're in, which is basically the home folder. If I wanted this to be backslash about, I want to make an about us page on my website, I would change that, and then I would make an about us page. But for now, we're going to leave it as just the backslash, and that'll be the home page. The next line that you see is res.render. So this is rec, which is request, and then res, which is response. So this is res respond by rendering index. And what that's going to do is that's going to jump into our next folder, which is views. So now our views folder is where the actual application is going to live, all the HTML. So all the HTML is going to live in here. This is actually .jade, which is super freaking confusing. And that happened because I did not, I needed an extra minus on handlebars. There we go. So, so when you run Express, the name of your app, this changes the view engine. So this view engine that we're using is Jade. I'm going to run this one more time.
Do that a little bigger.
Sure.
Command plus.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sweet. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to delete the pizza app that I just made. Or no, I might not have to. Let me just run this again. I was going to say this is not empty, so I'll continue and say yes. Okay, cool. All right, so now you see instead of Jade, it generated these HBS files, which are handlebars. Much easier to read. If you are familiar with HTML, this probably looks a lot better. Let me command plus this. Zoom in. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So that's a lot easier to read, right? A lot better to read than that Jade, awful Jade stuff. So great, so now I have an application. So now I can create a form. Form, action, do an input, text, and let's have a button, and the type of button is going to be a segment. It's going to say text. Now, if I cd into my pizza app, npm store, npm start, refresh, cool. Now I have a form on my website. And now my method of a form is going to be to post. And that's the way that I'm going to send this data in this form. So next up I'm going to make a new route. And instead of a get route, I'm going to make a post route. So I'm going to change this get to post. And then I'm going to change what the response is. So I'm going to have this send a text message with Twilio. So I'm going to just do a Google search, npm Twilio. I'm going to go to the npm page. This is the library for Twilio and the documentation. And I'm going to shut the server off with Control-C. And I'm going to run npm install Twilio. And I'm going to add -- save. And when I do -- save, it's going to save Twilio into that blueprint package.json file that we were talking about earlier. And while that's loading, let's actually look at the package.json. So let me zoom this in again. Okay, cool. So this is package.json. This is basically the blueprint to my notepad. So you see I have the name of my app, the version, which is 0, and then I have that start script. So when I ran npm start is just a shortcut for what I really want to do. And what I really want to do is I want to run this bin www file that starts my server. Instead of doing this, I can do 101 things. But the thing that I want to do is run this, and this will start my server. If I wanted to add another one for testing, right? I would say when I want to test, who here's ever used NodeMon? Anybody know what that is? So NodeMon is is a script that will automatically reload your code so that when you make changes in development, you don't have to turn your server off and turn it back on. It will automatically refresh your node server. So I'm going to run the same script, but instead of initializing it with node, I'm going to initialize it with node mon. So start is used in production. Start is used when it's on Heroku, it's on the public internet, and people are really seeing it, right? So in that case, I'm not going to be editing those files, so I don't need automatic reloading. But when it's on my local machine, I am going to be editing the files. So I want to run the node mon, which will look at my files and automatically refresh if there's a change. Cool, so I'm going to save this. Oh no, what? Load system file change. So actually what just happened was now Twilio was added to the list. So when I ran npm install Twilio and I did --save, it saved it to these list of dependencies. What this does is this lets you basically leverage other people's packages into your code. So think of it as like plugins for your project. And what will happen is when I run npm install, the node will go to the public internet, it will look for the Twilio npm package, it will look for version 3.4 or above, and it will download it and bring it into my package. And it will do that for all of these declarations. So basically, I don't really have to worry if Twilio comes out with like a bug fix, because automatically, I'm gonna get the latest version of Twilio as long as it's 3.4 or above. And that's the same thing with all these other packages. When you're working on like different APIs, this is really literally gonna be a list of your APIs. So Clarify is another awesome sponsor here. Clarify would be listed in there. IBM Watson, Microsoft, all of the third-party services, and then even tools. So it doesn't only have to be APIs, it can also be tools. So this is Handlebars, which is going to render your files for you. This is Express, which is going to serve up your server. This is a cookie parser that's going to handle cookies for you. This is a body parser that's going to handle HTTP requests for you. This is a little application that deals with your favicons, because that's the little icon that has in your browser that shows you the image of the website, right? So there's all these packages, and you're basically able to have the tool sets of every single great developer in the world at your disposal. Cool, so I'm going to go ahead and just create that script again. So I'm going to say what I want to test. I'm going to use node mon and www. Cool. Now I'm going to install node mon as a dev dependency. So I'm going to do npm install node mon --save -dev. The difference between -save and -save dev is the same difference between running npm start and npm test. So dev dependencies are only on my local machine when I'm actively developing. Regular dependencies are dependencies all the time, even when it's on Heroku, even when it's on Amazon and your production server. Cool. So now if I go back here, and I scroll down, now I have a new declaration called dev dependencies. And that declaration includes node mon. So this project, when I hand it off to somebody else that's on my team, and they run npm install, it will install the dev dependency of node mon, the production dependency of Twilio, and all the other dependencies that it needs for the project. All right, sweet. Any questions? So next I'm going to jump into Twilio's docs, and I'm going to look for their starter functions. Okay, cool. So the first thing you're going to have to do is require Twilio in the file that you want to use the service in. So at the top, at the top of the file, you're going to see imports. And the first import that we see is Express, and Express is required. So in our application, when we want to use a new tool, each file requires us to bring it in as a dependency. So if I want to use Twilio on this page, I'm going to do something very similar. I'm going to say var Twilio equals require Twilio. And then it's going to go into my node modules folder. It's going to find Twilio. There's a bunch of stuff in here. You never have to open this, unless you want to be nosy. There it is. And it's going to go into node modules, and it's going to find Twilio, and it's going to include that package into my project. And then when I want to send a text message to Twilio, I can do twilio.send, and it will have the whole entire superpower of Twilio in my one file here. And I don't have to look at all the stuff that's in here. I don't have to worry about that. I'm importing. Right? Cool. So the first thing I did was import. Next thing is going to be to clear my tokens and stuff. So again, I'm just going to grab their example code and I'm going to throw this into my project. I'm going to throw it into the post route. So it's going to fire. It's going to fire this stuff when there's a post request sent to my application's homepage. So not a get request. So who here knows the difference between a post and a get request? You do? What's the difference?
Post is to submit data, get is to retrieve data.
Perfect. So he said post is to submit data and get is to retrieve it. Another way to summarize it, what I like to say, is post, think of going to the post office and putting a letter and a stamp. You're actually sending data, right? And then get is when you just go to a web browser and you hit enter. That's always a get request. And it's just you looking at something and getting it, not sending. Great. So when I send data to my home page, I'm gonna send a text message. When I'm trying to just look at my home page, I'm not gonna send a text message. So only when I fill out that form and I press send, am I going to send a text message. Cool. So next up, I'm actually going to have to get some Twilio tokens. So I'm going to go to Twilio's website and I'm going to grab some tokens. And this is the hardest part of using Twilio, is getting your tokens and making sure that you put them in the right places. After you've done that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. Cool. So here's my SID. And here's my secret. Awesome. And I'm actually going to move this stuff outside of my post, and I'm going to put it up here with my declaration. And I'm not going to require this more than once. Cool. So what I'm doing here is really simple. I'm declaring what my auth token's value is. I'm declaring what my account SID is. And then I'm initializing a new instance of Twilio with those keys. So I'm putting the key in the ignition internally. And now I have client. And now down here in my code, whenever I want to use that client that I just initialized, I'll do client.message.create, and now I'll be able to send text messages. Super cool. So the from number, here's another thing that'll trip you up if you're using Twilio. The from number has to be a number that's in your account, and that's verified. So before I do the from number, let me actually look at my numbers and see which numbers I'm allowed to send from. So here's one of the phone numbers that I purchased from Twilio. And I'm going to throw that bad boy in there. I'm going to make sure that there is a 1 before the area code in the number and the little plus sign. Again, that will trip you up. And who here wants to give me their cell phone number? Come on, you all got free text messaging. Come on. Somebody.
805.
There we go. Thank you.
302.
805 302
2710.
2710. Sweet. And the message is hello from Node. Great. Awesome. And now instead of express, I'm going to say your message was sent. Sweet. So now I'm going to run npm test because I want the auto loader of load mods to run. I'm going to refresh this. Say hi. Your message was sent, and now I'll check your phone and let's see if you get a message, hopefully. Yeah? Holy shit, that was pretty easy. Cool. Well, but hang on a second. I love hacking. Try that again.
Still says hello from there.
Still says hello from Node. All right, cool. So now let's make it say the message that I'm putting into the body. Great. So here's my input text. Let's give my input a name. So the name is going to be text message to text. Cool. Now that my input has a name, I'm going to go over here, and remember we were talking about request and respond? So my request is going to be rec dot body, which is the body of the message, dot message to send. And that is going to be the message that got typed into the form. And now instead of this string of hello node, I'm going to put in the variable of request.body.message to text. And hopefully, if I didn't do any typos, and now you see node mon automatically restarted my code because it's all changed. And now if I say hello from the Global AI Hackathon, and look, I'm going to do you one better. Throw a robot emoji in there. That might break something. Let's find out. All right.
It's very quiet.
Nothing?
You broke something.
Did I break something? Hello, Anthony?
Yeah.
So the emoji broke it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Besides the emoji, it worked. Great. So now I can say hello from the Global AI Hackathon. And you should get it.
Pretty quick too.
And it's quick. Boom. Instant. Accept emojis. I got a code Sam. Let's see what's up with that. All right. Cool. So now we have an app and it's sending text messages. That's pretty cool. Let's make it look prettier. Sweet. So I'm going to show you guys Materialize. So Materialize is the other secret superpower that I've used to win 3 hackathons in a row. And it makes things look really, really cool. Makes things look like Android kind of Google apps right out of the box. Really great project. It was started by these really cool Asian dudes. Where are they? Where are the Asian dudes? Look at these fucking kids. These kids are awesome, man. So thanks to these kids, they're not affiliated with Google in any way. They looked at Google's Materialize outline and they said, we can do it better. We can give people a framework. They created this framework. Yo, later, guys.
Night.
Happy hacking. So thanks to these dudes, now we have this awesome framework. Who here's used Bootstrap? Anybody used Bootstrap before? Yeah? Yeah, never use Bootstrap ever again, trust me. This framework is so awesome, especially for prototyping, especially for hackathons. I'm actually mad, I wish I would have given this talk in the beginning, because a lot of you guys are probably like, thanks asshole. Like now you tell me, like my whole thing's in Bootstrap. But, so let me show you some of the reasons why I love it. The first one is colors. So if you go to materializecss.com/colors, every single color in the spectrum is available via a CSS class. So if I want a green button, I give the button a class of green. I don't write any CSS. If I want that green button to have red text, I add an additional class of red dash text. And I can do this to forms, I can do this to navigation bars, to every single part of the layout. I can change the colors. So that means I can create a completely customized feeling app without writing one line of CSS. And I think that's awesome. The next thing is their grid system. So their grid system is a lot simpler than Bootstrap's. It is still a 12-column grid, but it's a lot shorter in its syntax. So let me zoom this in a little bit, make sure you guys can see. Cool. So the syntax is only col. So in Bootstrap, you have to write like col, dash small, dash this, and then when you want to write a medium one, you have to write col again, dash medium, and then when you want to write a large one, you write col again, dash large, then an extra large one, right? So they only have 3 breakpoints, small, medium, and large, super simple. And those breakpoints only require you to write col once. So you write col, you declare that this container is a column, and then you do S1, S2, S3 for the small breakpoint. If you want a medium one, you do M1, M2, M3, and a large one, L1, L2, L3. So basically you can have 3 breakpoints in the same lines of code that would be 1 breakpoint in Bootstrap. Super easy to read, super easy to code and get running. And here's like another example. But yeah, pretty much any layout you can accomplish it with Materialize. There's cards, and again, it's like a lot more modern than Bootstrap. So you can like throw in these cool looking cards. Kind of looks like an Android app. Kind of looks like a Google Now card or something. And yeah, there's tons of examples. Yeah, you guys see when I click that little like animation? It's called a wave. So anything that you want to have that cool animation, you just add a class of wave. Now it's waving. There's shadow classes called depth. So you do z-depth-4, and now you have like a really cool shadow. And you can do all these really cool effects that feel really customized. You don't have to write any CSS at all. It's pretty awesome. And I don't want to spend too much time on this, but what is another really cool thing? You can do parallax scrolling, which is super easy to accomplish. So if you want to do some parallax stuff, that'll look good on like a landing page or something. Modals and transitions. So if you want to do some really nice looking modals like this stuff is really attractive. If you want like one that's tied to the bottom, this really like super looks like an app. And all the example code is here. Great, so I want to use Materialize. So similar to the way I installed Express using NPM, I'm going to use a new tool called Bower. Anybody here heard of Bower before? So Bower is like NPM for CSS. It allows you to install libraries like Bootstrap and Materialize and jQuery and React. It allows you to bring those things in so that they sit on your local machine. And why this is important is because if you scroll down to their getting started, they're going to tell you to link to this Cloudflare company. Now, those guys are super cool, I know them, but like, God forbid, if they change their policy and they don't want to host that for you anymore, your app will like stop working. Or if the Wi-Fi was really shoddy in here, you would have to make a call out to the internet every time you want to download your stop sheet. Not really best practice. So you can use Bower. Bower will install it on your local machine, so that even if you were on a plane and you didn't have any Wi-Fi at all, you would still be able to work on your project locally, and I think that's kind of important. So if you scroll down here to Bower, you can install Bower with NPM. I'm not going to really get into that, but it's really super easy. NPM install Bower -J. Same thing how we install the Express app. And now I have this new superpower of Bower. So now I can go into folders and I can type Bower install Bootstrap and it'll go download it for me. Bower install Materialize and it'll go download it for me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to close my app. going to CD into my public folder, and I'm going to do bower install materialize. And there's some more complex stuff that you can do with bower. I'm not going to get into that right now. There's ways to like compile your CSS and compile your JavaScript. But straight out of the box, you don't really have to do any of that fancy stuff. You just run npm install bower, and you can link to the minified copy that'll be in the folder. So now bower is doing all the hard work for me. It's going to the public internet, and it's downloading materialize into our project. Any questions while this thing's downloading?
Do we need bower to be installed first?
Yes. So you run npm install bower -J, and that will install bower globally. And if you type in npm and it's like, what's going on, then you need to install npm. Yeah, everybody type, like if you're having trouble, type in npm, hit enter. If it's like, I've never heard of npm, then you have to install node. So go to node how to install that. Cool, sweet. So now we have a new superpower in our public folder, and this is our bower components folder. And again, like technically, best practice, you probably shouldn't link to it from the bower components folder. For the hackathon, it's totally fine. So if I open bower components, you're going to see I have this materialize folder, and then I'm going to open dist and CSS. And I have a regular version and a minified version. I'm going to use the minified version. All right, cool. So I'm going to go into my views, and I'm going to open layout. So layout.handlebars. So this is the main layout that's going to be applied to every single page in my project. And let me zoom this in again. Ooh, here we go. And then you see these are handlebars. So think of you holding onto the sides of them, and then anything that's inside here is a JavaScript variable that's past the handlebars. So this is like my head, like my basic part of my HTML document. I don't want to write that 100 times on 100 web pages, right? So basically anything that falls inside of the body will get rendered there. Anything that I want to get rendered on every single page would go in here. So that would be links to my JavaScript, links to my CSS, all that fun stuff. Cool. So now I'm going to link to the file that I just grabbed from Bower Components. So I'm going to do Bower underscore components dash material dash dist dash CSS slash materialize .min.css. That's super long, but that's just linking to it from the folder. Where it is. Cool. And now I'm going to actually open the style sheet that comes with the Express generator. And there's some styles in here that I don't want to use. So I'm just going to delete that. Cool. Now I'm going to run npm test again. I'm going to bring up my testing server. And then if I go back here and I refresh the page, cancel, that looks a little different. So this looks a little weird. And that's because we didn't add any materialized markup, only their style sheet. So if you see the first thing that load is this line across the page, that's actually the form. So that's where we were typing it in. Materialized forms look like Google Forms. So if I go to forms, this is how they look, right? So let me go ahead and grab an example of what one of these forms is supposed to look like. Cool. And now let's hop into here. Great. So First thing I want is a container, and that will contain my app so that it's inside the margins. Here's a container. Sweet. Now I want a row so that I can put rows, columns into the rows. And now, I want the input field that I grabbed from the example code. And I'm going to grab all the code that we had before, and I'm going to put that into a column dot S12, which will be full width, 12 columns. Cool. Now I'm going to grab this, add this here. Instead of first name, I'm going to say enter your message, and I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to make sure it is the name of message of text to send. Cool. So now, and now this is a button. So I'm going to add a class to this, btn for button, and I'm going to make it a red button. So I'm going to say btn and red. And now I'm going to refresh. Okay, it's looking a little better. It still looks a little weird, but it's better than it did before this. Oh, okay, cool. So the other thing that you need besides the CSS for Materialize, you may also benefit from using the JavaScript for Materialize. So some of the components. So some of the components in Materialize that are like cool animations like this. So when I click on this and it kind of like flies to the top, a lot of that's magic that goes behind the scenes and it happens in JavaScript. So if you don't know the JavaScript, that's something to do. So I'm going to add the JavaScript in there. I'm going to link to it from Power Components, not from the public internet. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I need, their jQuery, their library requires jQuery. That's why this was actually brought in as a dependency. So I didn't type in npm, I didn't type in Bower install jQuery, but it automatically did because it needs it for Materialize. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to link to components / jQuery / dist. Now, if I refresh the page, it looked weird before. Still here. There we go. Alright, cool. There's a placeholder that kind of placeholder. Okay. So I'm going to remove this placeholder. Save. And now enter your message, and now I click this, and it does a little fancy dance. And it moves out of my way so I can type. Cool. I also would kind of like this button on its own line, so I'm going to do dot. I think I understood that. Column. Put this in its own column, and then it should jump down. It should be underneath. Okay, cool. Now I want a nav bar. So I'm going to jump into Materialize again, go to docs. I'm going to find the navigation bar. Great. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put that in the layout because the layout appears on every page. refresh. Awesome, but I don't want my app to be pink. So I'm gonna add a class to the nav bar. I'm gonna make it red. Refresh. Now it's red. Change my mind. Blue. And I want it to not only be blue, I want it to be a darker shade of blue. So I'm gonna do blue, darken 4. Now it's like this dark blue. I can do darken 1, darken 2, darken 3. There's all these shades and stuff. I can basically make this look however I like it to be. And this is going to be my pizza app as well. So pizza app, right? There we go, pizza app. Awesome. And I want this to be centered, so I'm going to give it a class of center. If I wanted it to be right, I would give it a class of right. Materialize, you'll find it has a lot of helper functions, and they're really very semantic. So if you think, hey, if I wanted to move this to the right, I'd give it a class of right. Try it, and chances are you'll be right. A lot of the things, they just make a lot of sense. Cool, so now I have the pizza app. I'm going to have, go into my GitHub, right? Save. So now I go into the GitHub in the right hand corner. But, oh wow, that reminds me, this isn't on GitHub. So let me add a repo. And there's a pizza app. MJ pizza app. Cool. So now I'm going to do git clone and I'll link to my repo. Cool. Now the way GitHub works, or the way Git works on your local computer, is this .git folder contains everything about your Git repository. Who here knows what Git is? Who here feels like they know Git inside and out? Yeah, nobody. Yeah, me neither. I didn't raise my hand. Nobody understands Git. It's like a cloud. But all the magic of Git happens inside this .git file. And it's a hidden file, and basically GitHub or Git is a time machine for your code. So every single time you make a change, and you push it up, not only make a change, every time you make a change and you commit it to Git, you're logging like a time machine that you can always go back to. So when you're creating your app, you should always be pushing up commits and commits and commits, because it will give you a chronological history of your code. So all that magic is saved in this .git file. So what I can do is I can actually just cut this. And if I back up and I paste it in here. And now I basically moved the destination of that Git repository into this folder. But Git still doesn't know about any of these new files, so I have to tell Git. So I'm going to do git add -a for all. I'm going to hit enter, and it doesn't tell me that it did it, but it did do it. So it added, it looks for every single file that's in the directory, and it adds it to the Git folder. Next, I'm going to do git commit -m for message, and I'm going to say created express, and that message is going to be viewable to my whole team. So don't put in the message like Sam's a dickhead and I fixed this problem, right? But keep it PC in the Git message. All right, cool. And now I'm going to run git push, And when I do git push, it is gonna sometimes ask me for my password for GitHub, sometimes it won't. And it's gonna push that up to GitHub. So now it's on the public internet. My whole team can now pull that down and they can have access to it. Awesome. So now I want to move it from GitHub, which is just cold storage and a time machine, and I want to put it on Heroku. And Heroku is going to give you a subdomain where you can have your app. So it's going to give you, Michael Jackson Pizza app.heroku.com, and you're going to have a public URL that you'll be able to share with your friends and family, and they can all send text messages to this guy because he's silly enough to raise his hand. I'm going to put this link all on.
I know where you work.
Alright, cool. So, again, Heroku is something you have to install. So I'm going to be running commands using this Heroku superpower. You guys will have to go to Heroku.com or go into Google and type like Heroku download. You'll have to download that thing. After you download it, you'll be able to say Heroku create, and it'll create things. Heroku delete, and you'll delete things, whatever. So I'm just going to type in Heroku and it's going to know because I've already installed it. So I'm going to type, can you guys see this? There. Alright, cool. So I'm going to say Heroku create in the root directory of my app folder. Heroku is going to like call home. It's going to say, hey, Anthony wants to make an app. It's going to do a bunch of other magic. It's going to randomly assign me an app name. It's going to spin me on the server. It's going to charge my credit card or not. So Heroku is actually really cool. They don't charge your credit card unless your app gets really super popular and you want it to be turned on all the time. So Heroku has a free plan where it'll leave your server turned off and it'll only turn it on when somebody goes to the web URL and will spin it on. Okay. Okay, it froze the first time, whatever. Okay, cool. So now I created my app. So now I'm going to say git push, but now instead of pushing it to GitHub, I want to push it to Heroku. So I'm going to type git push Heroku master. Push it to the master branch of Heroku. It's going to do a bunch of magic. It's going to set up my server. It's going to read my package.json file, so it knows to install all these dependencies that we talked about before. Cool. So now it is deployed to Heroku. Great. So now I'm going to put this into Slack, and everyone can text my friend. What is his name? What's your name?
Cordell.
Cordell. Everyone can text Cordell. Oh wow, there's no styling. That's not cool. So why is there no styling? So one of the reasons why I think there's no styling is because of this file called git.ignore. Yep, great. I have reason to teach you something else. So git.ignore is basically another blueprint file that tells Git what to ignore. And one of the things that always goes in here is your node packages that are shared. So Twilio's node package, even though it's part of your project, it's not saved to GitHub because that would be a waste. The ultimate source of truth for Twilio's package is Twilio's repo, not yours. So when you push that up to Heroku or to GitHub, you ignore that intentionally. And all you have in there is a blueprint that says, hey, when you want to run this app, go ask Twilio for the latest package of Twilio. Go ask Clarify for the latest version of Clarify. Go ask Materialize for the latest version of Materialize. And Bower Components is another one of those things that you should ignore. So before I said, hey, this isn't best practice to be linking to Bower Components, it's not. So I'm going to delete the the ignoring file of our components. Or, matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna delete it. I'm gonna delete that, I'm gonna save it. And now I'm going to commit my code again. So I'm gonna do git commit add all. I'm gonna do git commit don't ignore power. And then I'm going to do git push Heroku master. And now it's going to push all that Bower component stuff up because it's not being ignored anymore. Cool. And now if we refresh my pizza app, cool, got my pizza app. Sweet. So now everyone can, if you guys are hungry for the rest of the hackathon or the evening, please use this app, and my friend here will order you. Cool. Thanks, guys.